A long time ago, in the age when gods and monsters roamed the world, a brave warrior named Perseus was born. His birth was tied to a prophecy. An oracle had foretold that King Acrisius would be killed by his own grandson. Terrified by this prediction, the king decided to imprison his daughter, Danae, in a high tower so that she could never meet a man. But destiny had other plans. The birth of Perseus and the king's fear. One day, the mighty god Zeus visited Danae in the form of golden rain. As time passed, Danae gave birth to a son, Perseus. When King Acrisius discovered this, he was horrified. Fearing for his life, he placed Danae and her newborn son inside a wooden chest and cast them into the sea, hoping they would perish. But fate had something else in store. The waves carried the mother and child to the island of Seriphos, where a kind fisherman named Dictys rescued them. He raised Perseus as his own, and over time, Perseus grew into a strong, courageous, and intelligent young man. But trouble was on the horizon. The ruler of Seriphos, King Polydectes, wanted to marry Danae, but she refused him. To get rid of Perseus, Polydectes devised a cunning plan. He invited everyone to a grand feast and declared that each guest must bring him a precious gift. Perseus, being poor, had nothing to offer. Seeing an opportunity, Polydectes challenged him, "If you are truly a hero, bring me the head of Medusa." It was an impossible task, for Medusa was a monstrous gorgon whose gaze could turn anyone to stone. But to protect his mother, Perseus accepted the challenge. The blessings of the gods seeing Perseus' bravery, the gods decided to help him. Athena gifted him a shining shield, mirror shield, allowing him to see Medusa's reflection without looking directly at her. Hermes gave him winged sandals so he could fly. Hades provided a helmet of invisibility, making him unseen to enemies. He also received a magical sword, sharp enough to cut through anything. Perseus first sought help from the Graeae, 3 old sisters who shared a single eye. Cleverly, he snatched their eye and refused to return it until they revealed the location of Medusa's cave. As he approached the cave, he saw countless stone statues, warriors who had tried to slay Medusa but had fallen victim to her deadly gaze. Medusa lay asleep inside her cave. Perseus, careful not to look directly at her, used his shield to see her reflection. Stealthily, he approached and, with a swift stroke of his enchanted sword, severed her head. As her head was cut off, something incredible happened. A winged horse, Pegasus, emerged from her blood. Perseus placed Medusa's head in a special bag and, with the help of Pegasus, soared into the sky. On his way back, Perseus saw a beautiful princess, Andromeda, chained to a rock as a sacrifice to a sea monster. Her mother, Queen Cassiopeia, had angered the gods by boasting about her beauty, leading to this punishment. Bravely, Perseus fought the giant sea creature and defeated it, freeing Andromeda. The two fell in love and decided to marry. Upon reaching Seriphos, Perseus discovered that King Polydectes had been tormenting his mother. Enraged, Perseus pulled out Medusa's head, and as soon as Polydectes laid eyes on it, he turned to stone. Having fulfilled his quest, Perseus honored his promise and gifted Medusa's head to Athena, who placed it on her shield. Later, Perseus returned to his birthplace, Argos. During a sporting event, by accident, he threw a discus that fatally struck his grandfather, King Acrisius, fulfilling the prophecy that had once terrified the old king. Moral of the story: this story teaches us that courage, intelligence, and divine blessings can help overcome even the most impossible challenges. Through his bravery and wisdom, Perseus not only defeated Medusa but also saved his mother and established justice.